I want people to start preparing for Halloween the minute the 4th of July is over. Like, people, I mean, need.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of Morning Edition. It's so great to have you. We have myself, meteorologist Ted Phaeton, morning anchor Savannah Rudisell, Annie Satowski, and we have producer Austin McCullum here for another Morning Edition. And I'm introducing this topic because
it's important
y'all,
to you.
You notice Jason and Julian aren't here, so I'm going to go.
You did it because they weren't here.
I appreciate you all instigating my nerdiness. So this is this is a topic.
Cool, though.
I wanted to bring out. It is a new study on anti-aging, and we see these studies all the time. This one came out earlier in July. This was actually kind of crazy. It's a new anti-aging study that shows reverse cell age. Let me break it down. Harvard researchers, they used chemical cocktails to reverse the biological age of human cells in 4 days. This is without genetic therapy, without editing the DNA. So it uses the 6 cocktails to give a youthful gene expression. So to get down to the nitty gritty here, imagine our cells age. And what this is doing is it's actually helping the cells remember how to function like they were young again. And that's why this is really promising. So based on the information theory of aging, or based on the research here, they say our cells don't just wear out, they actually lose instruction. Like they get old and they forget. And what these cocktails do, it actually helps them remember like they were young again. So then they get to operate like they're young again. Different than stem cells, which could have other adverse effects like tumors and things like that. So this is just simply like, hey, cell, you forgot how to be young. Here's how you be young. And obviously the result is we reduce our age. What do you guys think?
Just like
it's promising.
I get old, I forget how to do things. So it's like, hey, remember how to do this? No, we make fun of you for all your biohacking, but I get all my health and wellness news from Ted Phaeton. No, it's super interesting. I think that any sort of advancement is interesting. I always worry about just finding out side effects, you know, what happens from here. I'm also wondering how accessible this will be for like the everyday person. We know that there's like the crazy biohacking people out here. It's like, here's my 500-step regimen every day for how I am going to live to be 150. I also personally have no interest in living to be 150. Ted, you and I had a conversation about how old we wanted to be when we were doing all of our planning before our wedding for like life insurance. My husband was like, I'm going to live. I can't remember what he said. I said, I'm going to be 100. And he goes, he kind of looked over at me and went, and he goes, I wasn't planning on doing that. And we're like, all right, well, this is the whole thing. But it's about quality over quantity for me. I'd rather be a good 85 than like a bad 100.
But if you could be 130 and feel like you're 75.
It's interesting.
Yes.
It depends on what's happening in the world. If I'm like, I'm done, I'm kind of tapped out from all of our nonsense, like I might be good to go. We'll just have to see. I'm really curious to see where that study goes and this cocktail that you speak of.
It sounds a lot like what humans have always looked for, right? It like your fountain of youth, your elixir of life, you know, things like that have just been all across mythology and different folklores in many, many different cultures for the longest time. I'm a little skeptical to be like, okay, how is this any different? And yeah, like Amy said, is anyone going to be able to get their hands on it?
All I know is, Ted, and you experience this.
Yeah.
When you start to get the gray hairs in the chin, I think that's
when
when
you have gray hairs.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't show up on the camera, thank God. But
hey,
shout out to the hairdressers.
Yeah, I think that's, you know, when you're in your 30s, you kind of start to feel it a little bit, where you're like, I wish I could turn it back just a little bit. You know, just 10 years.
It's feeling that that loss of edge,
Yeah.
right? Like I don't have the same the youthful bounce. I say, because I can still get it like I used to. I don't bounce back like I used to. So
It's the bounce back.
Yeah, the youthful bounce. But then you recognize, okay, if I'm playing a sport, right, I don't get as aggressive. I have to lean on more finesse and grace than just brute strength and white knuckling things like the young Ted used to do. But when you recognize that, it puts your mortality in front of you in a little bit, maybe subtly, but for some like myself, I lean into it. I'm like, okay, let's go down that rabbit hole. I think, to your point, Savannah, folks have always looked for this elixir, the fountain of youth, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
We are in an interesting time. The insurgence of AI, modern technology, the wealth that has been grown by different individuals who are now making it their full-time attention. to fight off death as much as possible.
And it's an exponential thing. Once the technology starts building on
Right.
itself, who knows where we'll be. So one thing, though, I was looking this up. So the average life expectancy as we know, has been steadily going up year over year. I think it's about, it's like a 1.1, 1.2 increase. 2022 average life expectancy in the U.S., 77.43 years old.
It's higher than
Now,
expected.
as of last year, it was 79.25.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
So we're all getting there, I think, whether we like it or not.
Well, do you know the biggest change in that health expectancy was like infant mortality and like
Oh, wow.
mothers? Modern technology has been great for child rearing and been very helpful for the complications around that. But that's a good way to up the average age of the population.
True.
Once
Mhm.
doctors figure out you should clean the instruments before delivering a baby, that did
Yeah,
a lot.
that certainly helped a lot. I think, though, a lot of women, especially, get sucked into, oh, you want to look 30 years younger than you really are. I don't know. I just think that the wrinkles on our face are just examples of the life that we've lived.
Yeah.
I like that, but
Mhm.
again, I just think it'll be interesting, especially if there's no side effects and more people can take advantage of it. Why not?
I like it.
Why not?
And then there's one guy we had talked about a little beforehand. He's a Silicon Valley billionaire,
Mm-hmm.
even though I looked it up and it said he's worth 400 million. So,
So not quite.
tomato.
Yeah.
But his name is Brian Johnson. This article is from Fortune, a couple years ago. So he is spending millions a year to be 18 again.
Mhm.
I don't want to be 18 again.
And
Yeah, that's
some
hard.
some of this includes, I'm going to show a few photos.
Okay.
Yes, fat injections, blood transfusions. He says regular MRIs, ultrasounds, colonoscopies, strict diet, and a sleep schedule. But one weird thing,
Sounds like no fun.
not to yuck his yum, but he takes the blood of his son
Ooh.
Mm.
and injects it into his body.
Is that safe?
Is that legal?
Great question.
There should be like a "Don't try this at home"
Yeah.
like banner going across the
Need
top
that.
of
Morning
the
edition
would
does
not-
not.
disclaimer.
We need to promote that.
It's not
But
medical
like
advice.
all of that, like the point of life is to live it, right? And if you're
Yeah.
just doing all of these things all the time and you have like 5,000 MRIs on your schedule, like what
What do you
fun
do?
is that? And a
Yeah.
colonoscopy, I've never had one, but I've heard that they're not that fun. So no, thank you.
A lot of. No, go ahead.
Yeah, I think I see the Brian Johnsons of the world. Those are the extreme examples. Now, there are some things we can probably take with, oh, you know what? I can go see my chiropractor a little bit more.
Yeah.
Maybe I should get a blood panel, at least look under the hood and see what's going on. These are things that I do for myself, which are not extreme because I still want to live life. But we also have like these fitness trackers and everything that break down your rate of aging and all that. Just take care of yourself.
That's it.
That's all this is about.
Yep. Well, I feel like this conversation has aged me a little bit. There we go. But when we come back on Morning Edition, we are talking about people who have never left their own state. They have never lived anywhere outside of their bubble. We'll talk about it when we're back on Morning Edition.
Welcome back to Morning Edition here. We talked about biohacking, and now we're going to talk about something a little bit less scientific. Some recent studies show just how many Americans have not moved out of their home state. We have a running note of all the things we want to talk about. It said 5%. I went back and looked. The latest study I could really find was from 2019, which was before the pandemic, so it might be skewed. But anywhere from 5 to 11% of Americans have never gone outside of their hometown. They've never lived anywhere else, but they've also never traveled anywhere else. So
Sad.
this is kind of talking to a room full of people who are going to say, what? Because in news, you move around so much. But guys, what do you think about this?
At first, I was surprised.
Mhm.
Then I thought about it more, and I have a number of friends, and when I go home to visit, because I've moved away, and obviously we have done the move around. But there are a lot of friends who they still live in the same town, close to mom and dad, maybe 15, 20 minutes away. They still hang out with all the friends from high school, so they have this comfort and this consistency in life that they've just been good with and happy with, and they didn't have a reason to move. So I can see it being more, I guess, ubiquitous than I thought it was originally.
You're not getting. It's a shame because you're not getting out of your bubble.
Right.
There is a whole world out there of people who experience life in different ways and in very similar ways too, that you are not experiencing. You are not talking to people who live on the West Coast, you're not meeting people in the Midwest or in the Deep South or in the Northeast. I mean, it's a whole series of cultures that I think when you meet people from outside your sphere, your monkey sphere, that your worldview expands and you become a more fulfilled person.
Definitely. I'm curious if any of that is skewed to one particular region, right? So
That's a good question.
born in the Midwest, right? And I can tell you we moved to Massachusetts when I was about 3. So it's a lot easier to travel to different states when you're in the Northeast, right? You could drive to Rhode Island for a Coke if you want, right? But, it's about, 8 to 10 hours to get to Colorado. So it's a little bit different. But also too, I mean, I think people in the Midwest typically are more prone to taking a road trip,
True.
That's very true.
A lot of us, Annie, as well, where you're like, oh, that's only 8 hours. Let's get going.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm curious to know if the survey results say like more northern or more southern states tend to stay in their own bubbles.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I'm from the West Coast. A lot of people think that I'm from Iowa.
I thought you were from Iowa.
I see, exactly. I'm an honorary Iowan.
You are an honorary.
I went to school there for 4 years, and then I worked in Iowa in my first job for another 3, so 7 years in that state, and then lived in Michigan. So I'm an honorary Midwesterner.
Yep.
But to Austin's point, just my viewpoint of everything really changed when I moved to the Midwest. The West Coast is a little bit more, I wouldn't say like rude, but everyone's pretty private, right? A lot of people just kind of stay to themselves. There's nice people everywhere, but literally in the Midwest, like, hey, stranger, I see you don't have a shirt on. Would you like mine? You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So, and now I live in the Southeast. So I just think learning about different cultures within your own country is huge. And a lot of people rag on Americans for not going to other countries or other states. And it's like, oh, in Eastern or in Europe, we're so well traveled and we speak a bunch of different languages. But also keep in mind, to Savannah's point, you can go from Italy to lunch in France on a train within hours of each other. So, I think it's really interesting. Is there a state that you have not visited yet that you would like to visit?
Oh, a whole bunch.
Mine, I mean, there's a lot. I've been to a lot of states, but I would say I haven't been to Montana.
Oh,
I would love. I see.
Absolutely.
That's what I hear. I'd love to, thanks Yellowstone, Kevin Costner. But I think it looks gorgeous out there. So I'd like to visit there. I haven't been.
No, Billings. I mean, Montana's beautiful. I've only done a trip to Billings and then Beartooth Path, which is in between Wyoming, Montana. Some of the most beautiful landscape you'll ever see. Truly, it's one of those experiences when if you're an East Coaster and you've never been West, because we're kind of, I don't want to say spoiled by the Appalachian Range, but so it's all eroded down. It's so small. But when you get out to the West Coast, you being from California, I don't know, have you guys been anywhere?
I have not been farther west than Arizona.
Really?
Okay.
Okay.
But the mountains are so grand.
I'm actually from Nevada, so the Sierra
Point of
Nevada,
clarification.
Sierra Nevada mountains. But to your point, when people out here, they're like, "Oh, go skiing." I love our local ski resorts, but I'm like, I just can't. I'd love to sled. So sorry. I will sled down them. Skiing, not so much.
Sugar Mountain compared to Mount Hood in Oregon. Shout out to Oregon. It's very different experience. As any West Coast skier will tell you, you do Black Diamonds? Oh, okay.
Okay.
I would love to go to Albuquerque, New Mexico, specifically for the Hot Air Balloon Festival.
Not the Breaking Bad tour.
Oh,
That too.
I'll do that as well.
I would do that in the same week. That would be fantastic to see. To Savannah's point earlier about the breakdown, from my research, it says like older adults, rural populations, the lower income, those are some of the situations that lead to the lack of travel. Also lack of resources, health issues, or really just no reason to leave because of being comfortable. But I do agree that traveling opens up your eyes to so many different cultures, experiences. I actually have a list of the top festivals around the world that I'd like to attend.
Wow.
And one of the first ones we knocked off was the Mardi Gras in New Orleans. So that was a great way to get some good Cajun food.
Send that list.
I will. And there's a lot of international ones, but it's the ones in our country that we're like, why not knock those off first?
Absolutely.
And I believe it was the Mardi Gras, which was like the top one and things like that.
Finding a good excuse to visit, I think, is always really important. Like for me, like I had a cousin who lived in Washington for a while. And then as soon as they moved, I was like, I really wanted to go visit Washington. Like that would be my answer. But, now they've left. And so I'm like, okay, well, time to find a new excuse.
I'm just saying.
Where do you want to go, Sav? Where haven't you been that you would like to go?
You're Washington. Yeah.
Oh, you still-
Washington
oh, you
State.
have-
still
okay.
gone. I know.
You got to go visit Seattle. You got to visit
Yes.
Tacoma.
Yes.
Snoqualmie Falls, especially. I mean, it's beautiful. If you're a Twin Peaks fan, shout out David Lynch, rest in peace. It's a beautiful place out there. If you're a Twilight fan, go to Oregon, go to the Gorge. Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful. Like I had the pleasure of living for 6 years in the Pacific Northwest. Oregon, Washington, two of the best states I've ever lived in. And I'm from North Carolina. And I moved back to North Carolina for family, for friends. But it's just so beautiful. My sister, it's different. And my sister-in-law had moved from Seattle down to California, and she misses it. She loves San Francisco. She loves Oakland. But there's just something about how green it is,
Right.
just how
Gray.
beautiful. All right, we can get into a whole conversation about that.
Yeah.
You need the salt lamp
shade.
during a couple 8 months of the year, just to keep your
The,
depression away.
What is it? The happy light. I had a happy light in Iowa. The sun didn't come out for a very long time.
See,
The winters were dark.
You need to do what you need to do.
these are all experiences that you wouldn't have if you don't move. And
Exactly.
my biggest advice is if you're in your 20s, if you've graduated college, if you have the opportunity, move.
I would. Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
Move away.
You can always come back.
And
Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
to those that might be a little older, maybe you have roots set down, at least maybe travel.
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine, and he was in his 60s, and he's like, hey, I'm going on a plane for the first time in my life. All right. And
Wow.
I get it. That happens for some folks. But
Right.
if you fall in that category, you've never been on a plane or anything, it might be worth, hey, baby, call your friends, call your buddies. Let's go on a trip, or even go solo if you like.
I will say my mom was in that category. I think, until the last few years, the furthest she had ever traveled, I think, was Atlantic City. She was younger. She went to the Dominican. Oh, Mama McCollum had a blast.
Oh, who wouldn't?
The Mama Juana drinks, if you guys have ever experienced. She was texting me. She's like, "This is strong."
Yeah, watch out.
I was like, "All right, have yourself a good time." But it's very fun. Again, if you can, do it.
Do it.
You're going to meet so many people. You're going to hopefully make friends. You're going to learn a lot about yourself when you do that.
Mhm.
And I think that's the biggest thing.
All right.
All right.
That's it.
That's it. That's mic drop.
Travel.
Wait. There we go. Yeah. Inspirational moment. Woo.
The crowd goes wild.
All right. When we come back on Morning Edition, Summerween. Is it a thing?
Spooky.
Do you celebrate? Savannah has a lot of very strong opinions about this, and we're going to hear about them right after the break on Morning Edition.
Welcome back to Morning Edition. It is a hot summer here in Charlotte. It's July, but if you look at your social media and if you follow a bunch of influencers, you may not think it's July.
Nope.
Summerween. Have you heard of it?
Nope.
I hadn't until a couple weeks ago. Savannah, the floor is yours.
Oh, thank you so much. I couldn't be more excited about this new. I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily a new trend, but it's definitely a new name for a trend that I think a lot of people have been doing for a long time. It's essentially like celebrating Halloween twice a year. Get spooky while you're still enjoying the summer weather. These are two of my favorite things, right? So think like you dress up those big skeletons in your front yard with a big Hawaiian shirt, right? Or you have like your little ghosties rocking some sunglasses.
Oh my God.
It's just, they're two of my favorite things combined. And I think a lot of people are doing that a little bit now, or they're just taking their preparation for the traditional October Halloween very seriously and starting in the summer.
So that's kind of what I saw. Like I follow a lot of home decor accounts on
Yeah.
Instagram and lots of, like Amazon finds and things like
Sure.
that. And it was like, get ready for Halloween with me. I said, wait a second. It is June, everyone. I'm like, oh, but then at the same time, I'm like, oh, that's really cute. So
Yeah, well, think about it. People start celebrating Christmas and preparing for Christmas the minute Halloween's over. I want people to start preparing for Halloween the minute the 4th of July is over. Like people, I mean me.
okay. I guess I can see it. But again, this all falls into a whole, consumerism slash, just how retail works, right? Because we know that as soon as one holiday is over, they already have the stock for the next holiday. Why? So you can buy it. But that's just the way that retail works. You have to order things and that's just how it goes. I personally can't get into the mindset of these things until they're closer. I used to be a strict, like, you do not decorate for Christmas until after Thanksgiving. Used to be.
I'm still that way.
Ooh.
Okay. I mean, I'm closer to Thanksgiving, but now I'm like, I want more time to enjoy my Christmas decorations. And now that, we have a family, I want the magic to last a little bit longer. Plus it's a lot of work. So I'm like, just lug the Christmas tree down from the attic and set it up. But yeah, I think it's just kind of how retail works. But I refuse to start decorating for Halloween right now.
I wish I had like a purple garment or something. I could just throw a flag on the play. Because that's how I feel about this.
I agree.
I guess I'm a strict seasonal type of person. I like to celebrate Halloween in the fall.
Yes.
Then I celebrate Thanksgiving. We actually have a tradition in our home. We like to get we add a new Christmas decoration every year. We'll celebrate the house the Friday after Thanksgiving, how it should be. And when it comes to Halloween, I'll say this. I have two stances. My first personal stance is I celebrate the holiday on the season. However, the other stance is people have their favorite holidays, right?
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps they don't have any interest in celebrating Thanksgiving, or maybe they don't celebrate Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
If Halloween is your holiday, lean in.
Yeah.
Go for
Own
it.
it.
Yeah.
If
Full
you
force.
need to start prepping those 2,000 little spiders you're going to have in that front yard with the spider webs now, I'll even come help you spread some webs. I got you.
It's
But
nice.
I mean, I'll tell you now, I started planning a trip. I think a friend and I are going to go over to Asheville, and we are already planning like different fall events that we're going to do to make sure that we get the most out of not just Halloween, but out of fall in general. And that doesn't mean I love summer any less.
Mhm.
You just always have to be thinking ahead.
That's
right?
the one thing. That's my one holdup with this. It's not fall.
It's not.
It's
No.
too hot.
It's too hot I think, to be like actually setting up the decorations, Austin. Like, I'm not going to be sweating in 90
No.
degrees setting up Skeletor. Like, I'm not going to do it.
I'm going to sound old, but there are some people who wear those costumes like
Speak
it's
on it.
summer
Mm-hmm.
when it's almost winter.
Wait, what?
I'll leave it at that.
Skimpy.
He's
Skimpy Halloween costumes.
He's
People wear the costumes like it is summer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad about it.
It's just one of those things. If you love it, if you
Mhm.
want to get into it early,
Yeah.
go for it. But if I go into Target or whatever and I hear, spooky, scary skeleton song playing in August, I'm like,
I feel like you won't have to worry about it that much.
Let us have back to school. That's a whole holiday.
That
That within itself, sort of.
True.
But I mean, bottom line,
PSLs. We haven't even gotten PSLs yet.
that's
Okay.
right.
Oh, yeah.
No, when that starts early, I'm like, no, it is again 90 degrees in August. I can't do it.
What
It's like-
about thinking about your Halloween costumes, right? What about
Oh, yeah.
planning for this? I
Ooh.
mean, Ted, and I know you guys have the whole family unit now.
Yes.
Mhm.
matching.
We haven't really given it much thought. I think I know what I want to do because my daughter wasn't old enough to do it for her first Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just laid there, like she couldn't really do much. We put her in a little outfit and like strolled her around the neighborhood, and now I have another idea. So I'm hoping that we
Wait,
can
what's
do
your idea?
What are you thinking?
that. Should I say it?
Yes.
Should I say? I mean, it's been seen on the grams for a long time, but like you take a oh my gosh, what are those? Like those wagons that you take on the beach with all your
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
but you kind of put cardboard over it and make it look like a putting green,
Oh my
and then you
gosh.
cut a hole in it, and then the baby is the marmot or the whatever, the groundhog
So Groundhog Day.
from Caddyshack.
Oh,
And he's
Yes.
incredible.
And it's
Yes.
really easy. Just like put them in like a little brown outfit and then like a hat with ears on it. And then we can dress up as caddies or.
are you gonna make her do the dance?
Oh.
You have to.
Maybe
The
dancing
I'm
on her
alright
own.
dance.
Yeah, by that point, she might be dancing on her own. So we'll see. I will have pictures, but that's my idea for Halloween.
I'm sorry for the person with the thousands of spiders. I'm going to help them upholster the greens for that putty.
Yeah, sorry, he has changed his mind.
Yeah. We have some costume ideas. My wife is a G. She has great ideas. I think we have like the first 2-3 years of her life planned before
Naturally.
she'll have her own autonomy and pick her costume after that. But when it comes to the whole, they're not necessarily, when I say not necessarily original, they're things that we've wanted. I've wanted to do peanut butter and jelly for the longest time.
God.
Okay.
Why is that a hard sell? That's great.
Yes, because I wanted to go to a party and I wanted to leave the party early and be like, it's peanut butter jelly time. But now we have the baseball bat. Like, Savannah's going to be a little baseball bat. Like, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly.
Oh,
Baseball bat.
You have unlocked a core internet memory.
Wow.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Well, guys, we've had a blast. We've talked about biohacking. We've talked about moving around and life experiences. And Annie's probably the most adorable Halloween costume I've
I hope so. I'm certainly not it, apparently.
Yep. You got time. You got plenty of time. You got more than 3 months.
Amazing.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us for Morning Edition. For Ted, Annie, Savannah, and myself, we hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.